Okay, so um, obviously, this is a virtual interview in which today our guest is an individual from Afghanistan, from whom we'll be asking a set of questions regarding our topic, which is about cultural degradation due to modernization. And that's the issue that we're tackling. And basically, we're emphasizing on the importance of preserving local cultures and traditions. So the first question is, why do you believe our old traditions and cultures are losing their importance in today's society?
Uh, why do I believe? And it's a very interesting question because it's like I kind of believe that in some ways, of course, traditions are supposed to die off because like they're old and they were made. They're like kind of the way of the past, and it was like the way to get around, the best way to get around in the society during that time period. Doesn't mean it's the best way to get around in the society in our current time period. And I guess being too conservative about our customs, being too rigid about how they are, can in some way lead to not having fun with it. And that is what I feel leads to basically the custom dying off or the tradition dying off. And what I mean is like one group coming in and thinking about that the custom or the tradition needs to be followed in this specific way, or that no one has the authority to like mess around with it. I feel kind of isolates a lot of people from that tradition or custom, which in turn kind of stops that custom from evolving. So what I mean to say is like it's not about preserving a custom or preserving a culture, because when you're in like a everything has to change. You know, the only thing that is constant in society is that like everything changes. So I think similar is with traditions and customs, whether that's like Afghani culture or whatever it is. Like they have to evolve with time, and that is like new people coming in, owning it in their own way, mixing their own identity with it, and taking it in a direction wherever they want it, and seeing where, like, you know, however the community evolves with it. And that's kind of like I feel that's like kind of a way of like owning a culture and going ahead with it, which is a bit different than like a lot of other people saying, oh no, you know, follow this specific manner or all that. Yeah, does that answer your question?
So my second question is, what is the impact of forgetting our local cultures, old languages, and traditions on a community?
I think the impact of like forgetting our cultures and traditions is that like all the ideas and experiences that has been accumulated by our ancestors over hundreds or thousands of years are lost and not passed on to the humanity or like people to learn from, which is like kind of a big loss. And that's in terms of Afghanistan's context, I think it's like the people moving away from the language or not trying to preserve it. And what I mean to say when I say preserve it is like they should be writing about ideas, they should be writing about their experiences in that language. It's very important to like language is not only like a means of communication, but it's
Mm.
has a lot of context carried in it. There's a lot of experiences in it. It's like, you know, a lot of people say when you want to learn a culture, learn the language first, because like it kind of gives you understanding of all the experiences and the because
It's a
every
representation of the
word
culture.
have yeah back interpretations and understanding of it. So you get a deeper understanding of the culture. And it's very important for people to like kind of keep communicating their ideas, how they're feeling, their experiences in that specific languages, so it's preserved, and not only for that specific culture but for everyone else to learn from, because it's a way of life, it's a way to like view the world, which I think everyone can benefit from. Yeah. So
How do you think we can bring back the importance of local cultures and traditions?
yes, bringing back, thinking about like the preservation of or bringing back of the importance of local culture, we have to think about how it evolves with time, you know, how it's evolving in the modern time period. And I feel the key aspect in terms of what I feel in terms of Afghanistan is kind of like differentiating between modernization and differentiating between the Western culture. Because a lot of people restrain from participating in like the new yeah, the new era, or like all the technological revolution and all the
Mhm.
new things that are coming out there, as you were talking about the social media, and all these different other forms of creating communities and interacting with them, they restrain from it as a thing of the Western culture. And that, I feel, in many ways kind of limits the local culture, or like, yeah, limits the preservation of the local culture. And what I feel is, first of all, we need to differentiate between, what the technological revolution and modernization is and what the Western culture is. It is intertwined in some way, and we have to also see that too, because Western countries are in many ways the face of the technological revolution and and modernization, and we have to accept that, I feel, in many ways, and kind of figure out our own blend with it and how we can use it to evolve our local culture. That, I feel, would, yeah, would be
Okay.
a good way of kind of.